How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews back with the end of your list. I've just ripped off a bunch of my favorite best of beers I've reviewed this year. Probably posting about 7 or so videos, give or take, and I'm breaking down a couple styles. I'm from best IPA, double IPA, to stouts, to old ales, to sours, and the whole nine, and to barrel aged. And I'm finishing up with the best in show. My favorite beers of the year, regardless of style. This is actually a pretty hard beer list to make. I kept it to 10, no honorable mentions, and I'm just breaking down my top 10 favorite beers that I have had. If you go back and watch these reviews, you might, if you graded every single beer I reviewed, I might be off. There might be some of these that actually graded lower, but from what is kept in my brain, what was impactful enough to where I remember these beers really doing it for me. These are the ones. So, beers that I reviewed this year, now that I had that are reviewed. So hopefully we'll get that done and throw some fancy graphic-y things up here, or at least pictures of the beers or something, and go over this list. And here we go. Number 10 on my favorite beers I reviewed this year. Perennial artisan ales, not artisanal ales, artisan ales. They're Vermilion English barley wine, 2013 version. I picked this up on a whim. They're out of Chicago, not Chicago, Illinois. I forget what they are. I'm gonna have to skip the area on this one because I don't have it written down. So that's my poo poo. But they're out west, Midwest. Sorry. And never had this beer before, and I just ended up grabbing off the shelf to do like an impromptu bottle share at my buddy's bar, who has a decent selection, and picked it up and drank it, and I was like, holy fuck, this beer's fucking fantastic. From the label design to the beer itself, everything about it just fucking did it for me. So, yeah, 10th best beer I had this year, so it's that fucking good. Number 9, Old Hickory Event Horizon out of Hickory, North Carolina. Hickory Brewing out of North Carolina. It's a multi-barrel aged blended stout. They take their stout, age in a bunch of different barrels and blend it together. It was just that freaking good. Chocolate meets barrel bliss. It was just an absolutely fantastic beer. One of the best beers I had was shared with me by my buddy Ryan, and I couldn't thank him enough for sharing this beer because it was off the hook good. So, yeah, number 9. Number 8, Treehouse Brewing's Julius. They're out of Munson, Massachusetts. I just reviewed a beer the other day. It's that good, man. It's like, well, I know a lot of people will poo on the beer because of hype. I know a lot of people trumpet it up or say it's the best because of the hype. And some people just think the hype is not worth it, but I've had it separately on several occasions. Every time I have it, it's fucking delicious. So, just juice personified. You get this super tropical juiciness that from all hop that is balanced with this sweetness that makes you think it's actual tropical juice, but then you get this really nice, rich, decadent chewiness to the actual beer itself, where you feel like it's almost like slightly pulpiness. It's absolutely fantastic. One of the better beers I've had in general, let alone beers I've had just reviewing this year. So, absolutely fantastic beer. So that's my number 8. My number 7, a 2013 Harvey's and Son Imperial Extra Double Stout. Russian Imperial Stout from Lewes, England. I don't know if it was the age or what it was, but I reviewed it with my friends. Actually, the review got screwed up, so I had to do like a recap review on it. And I remember getting a nose on it and being like, oh, it smells kind of sour, like tart sour, and drank it. And it was this super ripened cherry inside this infinitely well-made Russian Imperial Stout. Blew me away. Loved it. Bought one bottle of it when I was on my way back from Canada, and kicked myself in the fucking ass for not buying more than one. Love that beer. Couldn't get enough of it. Hopefully I find some of that year or even older in the future. Number 6, my surprise beer of the year. It is a 2012 Lervig Brewing's reserve barley wine from Stranvanger, Norway. Yeah, I told the story on my barrel aged video. I'll tell it again real quick. It's at my buddy's bar in the back loading dock. He was ripping through cases, pulled it out. And he said, "Yeah, we got this too." And it just, the label design struck me. I said, grabbed one, took it home, reviewed it. Never have I bought a beer, reviewed it within an hour, and then posted it within a couple hours. It just hit me that well. It was such a rich bourbon barrel and barley wine, perfect balance between the barrel itself and the barley wine itself. Great beer. If you can find it, regardless of year, because I've had other years of it, and it's just as good. I mean, age did do it proper, but absolutely fantastic beer. Worth picking up. Number 5, a 2013 Castile Winter Belgian Strong Dark. Weird beer. Super weird beer. Cracked it expecting Castle Van Hozenbroek, Belgium. They make the Castle, they make the Rouge, they make their typical triple, they make the Donker, which is like a rich caramelly, daty figgy, typical Belgian strong dark double E kind of thing. And I was like, okay, how's the Winter gonna fare? And I expected that, and I got a decent helping of that, but what I got is a lot of coffee and chocolate, which is really unique. And it just worked for me. I reviewed it probably about a week ago, and it was absolutely fantastic. So it was one of the better beers I had this year, regardless. Barrel aging, the whole nine, absolutely fantastic. So that's my number 5. Number 4, Thomas Hardy Ales, 1999. Awesomeness. Yeah. A 1999 Thomas Hardy Ale was given to me. My buddy came up from Florida to pick up beer, to visit family, but at the same time he was picking up beer to take back to Florida to have like a auction to sell the beer to help a friend of his kids who has had a rare form of cancer. And he just had these beers, and he's like, man, I can't take everything back. Just here, keep these. And he gave me some varying years of Thomas Hardy, and this one I reviewed, and it was absolutely fantastic. It's Dodo Bird of the beer. It's not around anymore. It hasn't been made since 2008. This 1999 version was the older. So there was one brewery, I think, even before this one. But it was one that was made from, I believe, the 70s to 1999, which is Eldridge Pope out of Dorchester, England. It's like a King's beer for me. Like I said, a Dodo Bird beer. It's just super figgy, datey, rich raisinets. Rich, deep, juicy, raisinette-y, chocolate-covered raisin beer. Absolutely fantastic. So that's my number 4. And my top 3 is pretty much the same as my barrel-aged top 3. So if you watch that, here's a recap. Number 3, Founder's Sweet Repute, bourbon and maple barrel-aged wheat wine. Maple syrup, bourbon, wheat wine from a company that knows what they're doing. Just beautiful, blonde, like a blonde barley wine-ish, blonde, rich. It looked like a watered-down maple syrup, even though it wasn't watered down at all. It's like a rich golden nectar of the gods kind of beer. So good to the point where I reviewed it twice in 1 year, I believe. And once I told people about it, or not told people about it, once I actually grabbed one off the shelf at a local place that had about a case of it and shared it, it just flew off the shelves and was there for months. So yeah, that's how good of a beer it is. Number 2, Trogue's Flying Mouflon bourbon barrel aged version of my Flying Mouflon. I love me some Flying Mouflon in general, but then they bourbon barrel aged it for 3 effing years, and it ended up becoming a coconut monster. That was beautiful barrel aging, but the beer held up inside of it, but then it had this crazy copious amounts of coconut, and ended up being just, absolutely fucking fantastic. So that's my number 2, and number 1, Founder CBS. I had Canadian Beckford Stout this year. Went to a local place that had it on draft, picked it up, and kind of weaseled my way into a little place to review it, and on the side, and reviewed it, and it's just that fucking good. It deserves being up there with number 1. Just you get that beautiful, rich, well-made stout that you would expect from a brewer like Founders, and then combine a perfect amount of barrel aging with copious amounts of maple syrup. Absolutely fantastic beer. So then there you go. Nice. As far as all my videos go, that was probably the most quick and concise out of them all. So hopefully you guys enjoyed my top 10 beers I reviewed this year. And hopefully you guys enjoyed me reviewing shit. Because I I had a fucking blast this year. Met some awesome people reviewing all the beers I did this year, from the guys from BDU, everybody from there, from, you know, Paul from BDU Brew News, to Chad, to Lee, to Average Joe, Ethan Beer Reviews, to Ewart, to Nick and Guy, all the Canadian guys, everybody there, to people that write quite often, from Writing on Their Parade, to Tom Beam from New York, Sean McKinney from California. There's so many people. So many people that ended up writing me this year. I'm trying to think of everybody else I can freaking think of. Ben from upstate New York, and I can't even name them all. There's that many freaking people. Yeah. I'm missing people, and it's not because I'm missing them because I don't remember. There's so many people to go through. David from West Coast, and everybody around. It's just so many cool people I met this year that it was such a blast making all these reviews and talking with people and going back and forth and agreeing and arguing and just breaking down each part of them, or just finding new beers through people, and just in general, just doing the whole beer review thing was absolutely a fucking pleasure. So hopefully you guys, like I said, enjoy them, because I enjoy making them, posting them, and then talking with you guys. And hopefully you guys watch more, because that would be fucking cool. Ended up kind of garnering a bunch more subscribers than I could possibly imagine this year. I was kind of had like a, not that I'm like all about just the number of subs, but I had like a, it's like, oh, hopefully I hit this number this year, and I kind of getting close. I might double it by the beginning of the new year, which is kind of crazy. And just awesome people in general. The whole experience has been really fun, and I just enjoyed doing it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this breakdown. Hopefully you enjoyed watching my reviews this year. Hopefully you watch more. Hopefully you yell and scream and bitch and moan and do all that fun stuff. And hopefully see you next time. Cheers.